Hola! I'm Mike, the Backyard Mechanic, and I'm posting a remix. This is not a repost. This video has new content. At the end of the video, I concluded that cutting large tree branches was too dangerous and that I needed to sell my pole saw on Bookface Place Market and hire professionals. I keep doing it. This video includes several more adventures of trimming trees in my yard, not to mention encounters with wildlife. I don't know why I'm bothering with this preamble. I'm only talking to 87 of you. Look at these numbers. Jibber Jabber 2 presented it only 160 times in 6 months? A 6% click-through rate would be good. This one has twice that, so what gives? I think it's because I used the word d. I used d twice in the video and d is also in the thumbnail. I'm pretty sure if you say d or d, algorithm will kill your video. To verify this, I looked it up, and while unofficial, creators have found that you are penalized if you use words like or d. What's weird is I've used all these bleeps, and yet I'm using clean language. But it makes me sound like a talking foul-mouthed motherfucking son of a bitch. So when you hear a bleep, just envision the word unalived. No, it's not a word. YouTube is fun. Hola! I'm Mike, and what did I do now? Just trimming some tree branches, that's what. Stay tuned to see if I die or not. This new house I bought has 3 medium-large trees in the front, but it also backs up to a green belt. So I have a dozen or so trees growing right behind my fence that aren't even mine. The branches hang over the yard, dumping mounds of leaves in the fall. On the side of the driveway, there's a tree that was overgrown. When I got out of the Mustang, I had to duck down to walk under the tree. So I bought a pole saw. This was my first mistake. I spent $300 on a pole saw when I could have hired someone to do the job for me. I did knock down the low-hanging branches on that tree, which took about 20 minutes, and then an hour to chop up the branches and drag them to the street. I realized that cutting the low-hanging branches was not enough. My trees needed to be thinned out to let more sun through so the grass would grow better. And thinned out trees just naturally have less leaves to rake. I hired a crew of 4 guys to do my front 3 trees for $700. This was a pretty good price, but it's going to vary massively depending on where you live. Of the 4 guys, 2 were trimming branches, 1 picking them up, and 1 supervised. I told the supervisor they made this look easy. His tone changed to real serious and said, "It's not. It takes years of experience." Foreshadowing. Or is it? You saw the teaser. Take this guy on the ground. Almost every branch he cuts could fall, hit him on the head, and kill him. This guy in the tree. The branches won't fall on him, but he could fall out of the tree, although this one isn't very high, or the chainsaw could kick back on him in this confined space. Sometimes, if the tree is high enough, the guys will climb up a rope that they loop on a branch. They will tie themselves to that rope and swing from branch to branch, wielding that chainsaw. The crew I hired did all 3 trees in less than an hour. The low branches were about 6 feet from the ground. They pushed that up to 16 feet. The top is not quite as dense, so now more sun can get through to the grass. I had these professionals here. Why didn't I pay a few extra bucks to have them cut down a couple of branches in the back? Because I was committed. $300 pole saw and all. For some reason, I also thought it would be easier since they aren't my trees. Knowing that my pole saw is too short, I bought an extension for it, which was only 70 bucks. Is it long enough now? Well, here's his, and here's mine. I would say no, mine is not long enough. Okay, take that how you want to take it, you pole saw perverts. So let's go out there with an entire hour's worth of experience, a short pole saw, and cut some branches anyway. The best way to cut down a branch is to sneak up on it, cutting the end off and then proceeding to cut small pieces. Because I didn't have a long enough reach, I could just reach the base of the branch and had to drop the whole thing at once. and I had to stand on a ladder to do it. But this branch is only 3 inches in diameter, so what could go wrong, right? I know that looked bad, but it was actually worse. Let's see that again. The tree bounces off the ground and hits me in the face. I was lucky to have been wearing this face shield. Safety first, right? No, I wasn't being safe at all. I had the shield on to keep wood chips out of my eyes. But if it wasn't for me wearing that, that branch would have ripped my face off, which would have given this channel a different look for sure.
I'd have to throw my face down on the desk and do my show from here. Hey, I'm thirsty. Can I get some water? Oh man, that didn't work. Hey, how about a sloppy Joe?
Okay, let's keep watching. The branch keeps attacking me. As I jump off the ladder to get away, the branch smacks me in the head. Then it does an axe kick to my shoulder. It's at this point I push it off of me. The branch attacked me like a wild kangaroo in heat. You can see by the look on my face that I'm lucky to be alive, but wish I was born with some common sense. So the smartest thing I could think to do was to cut an even bigger branch. After all, that was the smallest of the 3 branches I was cutting. This one was a monster. It was leaning so far over my yard, leaves were getting in my gutters. This is an 8-inch diameter branch, and it took me 30 seconds to cut through it. This one gave me a warning as it bent and creaked, so I had time to jump out of harm's way. That sound is not Foley. That's what this monster sounded like coming down. But I'm not done yet. The branch is hanging on. A final bit needs to be cut. I barely touched it with the chainsaw and it dropped like a sack of cement. It didn't come near me, but if there was a stiff branch jutting out one side, it could have kicked the other way, but it didn't, because I'm still operating on dumb luck. One more branch. I'm going to take everything I've learned and still be stupid. This is a 6-inch diameter branch. Note that as soon as the branch starts falling, it takes me 5 seconds to react and move out of the way. Although I didn't need to worry because this branch only broke my fence. Replaying this in slow motion, you'll see that I did know the branch was falling, but it pinched the saw blade and I couldn't pull it loose until the last second. I was trying to save my pole saw. I'm such a hero. A stupid, stupid hero. What I did right was the ladder was positioned so I could back out and quickly get out of the way. If you think it's a good idea for me to keep doing stupid things and risk my life, like this video. If you think it was fun that I almost died, like this video. If you just in general like this video, well, I'm not sure what you should do. It seems like there should be some sort of action for that. Oh, and subscribe! I have 30 subscribers and, well, you know, 30 subs was actually my goal, so I'm good. You don't have to subscribe. So how do you trim a tree safely? Why would you ask me that? Have you not watched this video? Or did you skip to the end to see what happens? What I can tell you is what you should not do. Don't use a short pole saw. Mine was too short by about 10 feet. Of course, different trees require different tools. In my situation, I needed a 20-foot pole saw. Squatty potty good. Squatty pole saw bad. Don't cut the branch from the side. One of the reasons for a longer pole saw is you need to be able to cut off from the top of the branch. An angled saw head would have helped. Cutting the side of the branch is a problem because as the branch falls, it pinches and captures the saw blade. Don't stand on a ladder. It's just a bad idea. You need to be able to move quickly and not trap yourself several feet off the ground. Don't go without a hard hat. I was wearing a face shield, which was great, but a hard hat would have been better. Don't cut all the way through the branch before getting out of the way. You need to sneak up on the branch. As soon as it starts to fall, get out of the way. Don't finish the cut. What did I do right? I recorded everything so you could see this is not a job for a weekend warrior. I like to DIY all the things. This is one thing I may pass on to the pros. Maybe I'll change my channel to DDIY. Don't do it yourself. My pole saw is going up on Facebook Marketplace. Lesson not learned. I originally published this 5 months ago, fully intending on selling my pole saw. But as the saying goes, your balls grow back with time. So does your stupidity. Okay, I don't want to get your hopes up. I'm nowhere near as stupid. This first branch was hanging down so low in my yard, it was almost touching the ground. It was a simple matter of, and the pole saw is stuck. It's really jammed up in there. I had to resort to getting my sawzall and cutting the pole saw out of the branch. Now I'm able to rip down the branch. The second branch was a monster. And the pole saw is stuck. This time I'm able to shake it loose, and I cut the branch just enough to get it to start to droop. Then I stopped cutting. Maybe I did learn. Whoa, I barely touched the branch and it came crashing down right next to the ladder. I guess I defied again. This branch, I guess, was medium. I know that looked close. It was close. I couldn't pull the branch down yet, so I actually got smart and used one of my tips. Trim the branches and lighten it up. There's a heavy log left, but without branches to kick it somewhere random, it falls straight down. This beast is hanging over the house, so it needs to come down. It's cut just enough so that it starts to fall. I can't reach it, but the pole saw comes with a hook, so you can grab branches like this. It's still hanging on, so, like the last one, I trim it up, and then cut down the log. The yard looks pretty good. No branches hanging over the house or hanging low and hitting me in the head while I cut the grass. I should be good now with low-hanging branches for a couple of years. As a cool down, here's a couple of baby branches. Although, it wasn't as safe as it looks. There was a wasp nest right next to where I was cutting. Did I get stung while cutting down this branch? No. Did I get stung while getting this footage? Yes. Although I'm not sure it was that wasp nest because there was another one on the porch light right next to the front door and right where I was standing when I was stung. The wasp nest in the tree can live. The wasps on the porch that stung me for no reason must damn it, I mean unalived. As bonus footage, the same day, this venomous water moccasin decided to cozy up to my garage door. I have zero experience with snake wrangling. The plan was to jump on its back and rub its belly. I think that's what you do for snakes. Crap! I accidentally chased it into the garage. The footage gets a bit off kilter here. I wasn't framing the shot properly. Martin Scorsese would be so disappointed. Oh no, not the Mustang! I managed to chase it out the garage door and closed it. It's been 3 days, and it's still in my driveway. Mrs. Backyard Mechanic and I haven't left the house since. I need to wrap up this video and call animal control. Oh, I have a fan online. Hey, fan, did you like the video?
Don't quit now, because the odds are on the tree.
Thanks, fan. Were you betting on the tree?